So over recent times, the last 100 or 200 years, when we've been very much focused in, as a society, um, making as much money as possible, corporations providing for their shareholders, and so on and so forth, have we moved more into our head over that time? And this process that we're going through now is about balancing it out with our heart?
Shall we say, the difficulty has been that the head, the people who are dispassionate and, of course, have a degree of lacking any sort of compassion, have driven the universe, the world in that direction. Of course, that is not everybody. And not everybody left has been purely of the heart. There are, of course, in the middle, plenty of examples of compassion and heartfulness. It is, of course, essential in the evolution of humanity to have come through that stage, shall we say, because at one point in time, the heart ruled everything and were predominant and often, as it turned out, then so much organization and structure was required to put that back into balance.
So the wars, so that was coming from a stronger heartfelt place because of the passion of their belief.
Of course.
The wars, okay.
And humanity is emerging from a sense, shall we say, emerging toward a more balanced structure in order to, shall we say, move from adolescence into responsibility. And responsibility is taking what is occurring into account. One is starting to realize the creation of experience in time and space emerges from how one defines it. And certain elements of that definition are obvious. In other words, if you create an endless requirement for more and more and more and more, eventually you will run out of moreness. And it is incontinent, I think, is a better word, because the system, shall we say, becomes unhealthy. Okay. And so it begins to break down. That is, if you simply want more and more food, you will get bigger and bigger until your system cannot uphold that. Or if you become extreme on not eating anything at all, your system will fail. If you want to take endless risks and greater risks, eventually your system will fail. It is quite logical, and it is also, one can sense it One can know that without having all the details. So you can know all the details, or you can simply sense it. If you are truly balanced, you will sense it, and also understand how that occurs. Not that it has to be in great detail.
So one of the areas, obviously, that is out of balance, and we've been asking for more and more and more, is of our planet, of the environment. And when you say that we can feel it, can everyone feel it? Can everybody has an understanding that we're asking too much of the planet?
Of course. And the more that you feel it, the more that the head ruling will want to deny that. And it will simply put forward many arguments, find many details to provide that it is not the case. The reality, of course, is that the planet is the result of the frequency in consciousness. It is not real as such. It is not that the planet cannot provide. It is because the consciousness is asking to determine what is provided, shall we say. There is energy in abundance, but you want to have certain energy that can provide with increase resources to a few. And obviously that is not within the conscious framework.
So if more and more of us believe strongly in change, are you saying that those that are in power will want to repel that? Is that the law of polarity, or what have you?
Of course, but take this into account. You understand that the more that humanity lifts its own vibration, the more higher vibrations can find fertile minds. And that is why so many new devices and inventions and options are coming into existence, and each one is not within the confines of the old system. So the old system itself is providing the mechanism for its own demise. That is called evolution.